Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about exponential settings. So I've been talking a lot about legacy and linear in a lot of my videos, and I haven't really spent pretty much any time at all on exponential, and for a very good reason why. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys why that setting is probably the worst setting to have compared to the other two. So out of the three settings, the exponential, linear, and legacy, I think exponential is the worst. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys why you should probably not be using it. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away 2,000 V-Bucks. And if you guys want a chance to enter this giveaway, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel, turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be entered into the giveaway. So make sure you guys do enter if you guys want a chance to win. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so here I wanted to be talking about why I think exponential settings are not very good when compared to the other two, and why you guys, if you are using it, or if you guys are very curious on why I think it's not very good, this is definitely the video to watch. So here you have the linear and then the exponential settings over here on the side. So with these settings, what they do is they make the small movements, so if you're trying to aim from range, those small movements are going to be very, very helpful to hit more shots, because on linear, it's a kind of 100% consistent. So when it comes to those like small analog stick movements for aiming from range, it's very difficult. You're not going to be hitting a lot of shots from range on linear. That's just how it is. You're not going to be hitting those long range shots very consistently. But with exponential, you definitely can a lot better, because with exponential, you can from range see you have a little bit more control when it comes to the range, so you're able to hit more shots with your assault rifle from range a lot easier than opposed to linear. So that's why some people would switch. It makes it a little bit easier to aim from range. And as you can see here, it's very easy. So I'm moving it like my analog stick left to right. As you can see, it's very, very loose. It's not very controlled. But when I switch to exponential, I'm doing the exact same movement. It's a lot more close together, so it's a lot easier, as you can see from those distances. And I would say medium to long range, you're going to see a lot of benefit, because you are able to aim a lot easier on the other player than on linear. It's going to be very, very difficult on linear. On exponential, you're going to be able to. So that's why some people would switch. But with that being said, it doesn't make it the ideal settings to use for a lot of reasons, because here on linear, what you have is 100% consistent, so it's very, very good for building, editing, aiming. And the biggest thing that you have when it comes to linear is going to be flick shots. And the reason why flick shots are so effective on linear is because the movement that you have, your analog stick movement, is 100% consistent. There isn't any inconsistencies whatsoever unless you have like some sort of boost on, but you want to turn all that off anyway. So everything is going to be 100% consistent. So flick shots, like I said, are going to be very easy to hit time again. As you can see here, it's very easy. I'm always on target. I'm not going to be missing too many shots. And if I do miss a flick shot, I'm very, 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 very close to the other player. It's very easy to time the flick shots, because the muscle memory is going to be 100% consistent. It's always going to be that way, because on linear, it's very, I keep saying consistent, but it really is consistent, and it's really easy to just consistently hit over and over the exact same spot, or the spot that you want to. And with the aim assist close range, it is very, very strong, because as you guys know, the aim assist on linear is a lot stronger close range. So mix that in with consistency of the analog stick, that consistency, plus when you have the aim assist close range hip fire, flick shots with shotgun is going to be very effective on linear. And probably the best use of linear settings is going to be that flick shot with the pump shotgun or tac shotgun, depending on what you use, but it's going to be very, very good. But when you do play on exponential, one thing, you're basically giving up your flick shots, because it's not going to be as consistent. You still have that aim assist of linear, but you are giving up your flick shots, which of course, I mean, I guess you can say, you know, my muscle memory isn't the best with it. But from my experience, it's not going to be the best. I mean, you can get pretty decent, but you're not going to be as good as linear, because linear is going to be the best one for flick shots. So you're going to be able to hit some, but it's going to be a lot more difficult because of the inconsistencies that you have with exponential. So you kind of just give up on the flick shot benefit that you would have on linear. So you're saying like maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. That's just like a little bit of a difference. But you also got to keep in mind that when it comes to exponential, the reason why people change to it is for those long distance shots, because they feel like they can't hit it on linear, which you can't. It's impossible to hit long range shots on linear. So that's why some people would switch to exponential. But the big problem with that is, when you are doing that, it's 10 times more effective to switch to the old settings, to switch to legacy. It's 10 times more effective. So what you're doing is, I guess you can say exponentials in the middle, but you really do give up on everything. So it's basically, you have the aim assist of linear, but you don't have the flick shots of linear. But when you play on exponential, you have kind of the long range capability of legacy, but legacy is just a far better aim assist for long range anyway. So it really doesn't make any sense whatsoever to play on exponential by any means, because you're better off just going 100% on linear and having the best flick shots, the best close range accuracy, or just going with legacy and having those long range L2 spams where you can consistently knock the other player, which I'll demonstrate in a second how easy it is to hit those shots on legacy as compared to exponential. You can hit a lot easier with exponential compared to linear, but the legacy, it's not even close. Legacy is going to be really, really easy. And that was just me just trying to absolutely fail at building with exponential by switching back to linear. And when it comes to building, honestly, I like the edit mode aim assist on legacy of the old settings. I'll make a video on it explaining why. Some people hate it, some people love it. Personally, I love it. So I really just don't see any point at all on playing exponential. You basically give up on the best concepts of each setting. So on linear, you have the close range, that's which is going to be the most effective, and then on legacy you have the long range, more like aiming down sights is going to be the most effective. But you pretty much just give up on everything when you switch to exponential. It's more or less you're not having one strong advantage. It's more like having like a kind of balanced advantage, if that makes sense. It's kind of balanced in between the legacy and linear. But when you're playing Fortnite, especially on controller, you're already at a disadvantage against keyboard and mouse players. You want to have something that you have a very, very strong advantage at, and having that L2 spam or very, very strong hip fire accuracy is going to be the best way to have that advantage. So here I am just trying to aim with linear. It's very difficult to line up my shot. It's going to take a good second. I'm trying to, put it on target. It's just a habit of me L2ing. It really doesn't actually do anything on linear, but hitting shots on linear is a lot more difficult, because lining up those shots, it's very difficult to actually line up those shots in the way you want, because the analog stick movement isn't slowed down by any means. So it's going to be very difficult to hit those shots from good range. So when you switch it over to exponential, one thing you will see is an increase in accuracy. You'll see here, it's a lot easier for me to line up my shot because it's a lot slower when I am moving over. So that is going to be a big benefit of exponential. But when you go down, and once I switch it all the way to legacy, the old settings, and have the aim assist on there, as you can see, it's just going to be 10 times. I'm just like knocking headshots, 70, 70, 70. I mean, it's all you're going to see in game. That's all you're going to see in creative. And it's just a lot easier to line up your shots. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever for some sort of long range advantage on exponential, when legacy is going to be far superior and also far, far, far stronger to use. So those are the biggest reasons I would say on why I really don't think that exponential should ever be used by any means. It's just not the most effective use of a setting, because you want to have one strong advantage, especially since you're on controller and at a disadvantage already. So your one strong advantage is you want to have that auto rotation, that long range shot with your assault rifle, P90, or you want to be on linear and have an extremely good flick shot and an extremely strong hip fire accuracy close range. So those are the two options I would say and I would recommend having. And as far as which is the best to use between linear and legacy, I think legacy is the best overall, but it really does come down 100% to playstyle. If you play very, very aggressive almost every single fight, then linear is probably your best bet. But if you're kind of like an average player, or someone who plays kind of like both sides, maybe like a duo player or a squad player, legacy is probably 100% going to be your best move, and that's what I would recommend playing. It's only for the extremely aggressive players I would recommend linear. Like myself, I play extremely aggressive most of the time, so that's why I have it on. But personally, I do think legacy is a really good option and probably the best aim assist overall for most players. And with that being said, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys found this useful, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.